Right, so my name is Raksar. I'm from Pakistan. I moved here last year.
So multinational.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I want to be in Singapore. Okay.
Yes, I'm not currently working anywhere, but I'm looking for opportunities now.
Okay. And your previous company was in.
So I was working for Ayer Rajah, which is owned by Alibaba Group. So I was working for there as a campaign manager for the fashion category.
Campaign manager for the fashion, so it's
Yeah.
like e-commerce.
Sorry, e-commerce. Yeah,
E-commerce,
Ayer Rajah
yeah.
is e-commerce. Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
Hi, I'm Elaine. I'm from Prudential. I'm currently looking for this e-commerce opportunity. So I want to look out how can I market my products.
Okay, so from Prudential.
Yeah.
So it's D2C Prudential efforts, right? It's trying to
Yeah.
sell to direct to consumers rather than through their.
We
through
also
their
do this
networks.
enterprise business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
On that block. That is focusing on that block. Yes. Okay.
All right. How about you? Yes.
I'm just a student.
Student? Okay. So what do you study?
I study entrepreneurship and marketing. I just
Entrepreneurship.
came back from Silicon Valley where
Oh.
I did marketing for a startup company. So I
That's
just,
where your accent from. I'm kidding. No, you're still Singaporean accent.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And how about you? Yes.
All right. I'm from Boardroom. We are a Singapore-based company,
Okay.
but we have a presence in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Australia. We basically sell corporate services such as payroll,
Corporate
accounting.
services.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's more B2B. Yeah.
Well, yours is not exactly B2B because your consumers are still usually individuals making a decision.
True. Yes.
And therefore you're kind of on the border.
Correct.
You are one of those industries for who B2C marketing still works.
Mhm.
And you make one more step further and it stop working. You have to do everything else.
Correct.
Everything
You're not
different.
wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
So yep. I'm waiting for my director of marketing to be joining us soon.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, nice to meet you. How about you?
I'm Hero, I'm a student.
Okay.
Studying chemistry.
Did you come from Silicon Valley?
No, but I visited.
Okay, chemistry. Actually, we have one chemist in the company running marketing campaigns better than everyone else. And this is because chemists, they are very, very particular about the details, and that's what you need in digital advertising, especially when you're reading the data. And I have one friend who have an agency in Singapore. He told me I only hire pharmacists and chemists to run campaigns. For true, that's a real story. Okay, you're the last one, right? Or did you say already? You do. Yeah, it's people mixed together and then. But anyway, I did it almost right. Okay, let's start. It works. Yeah, my name is Alex. Actually, just flew from the UK yesterday, and I was in Turkey and then in Taiwan before that. So a lot of interesting trends happening in the world. In the UK, particularly, there was a conference called Technology for Marketing. I think that's the biggest in Europe, and you can see that nowadays there are two trends in the world. One is about moving teams in-house and laser focus them on optimization techniques and like performance marketing techniques. So there's less trust to the agency, more trust to in-house, even like almost like a data science people who want to run the marketing campaigns. And then another one is everything related to generative AI. That one is not really a trend of people adopting it, but rather a trend of people getting very curious about it. So they all want to try something. I guess the next marketing Monday that I will do about generative AI and how these things can be applied in marketing. Actually, very interesting. This time we are gonna focus on this topic. Yeah, how Meta and actually Google and all of them, I just say Meta, but actually everyone, are making decisions on who to show ad, who not to show ad. Yeah, so this is one of their the reason of this topic and the reason why I decided to talk about it is because I'm, as part of my work, dealing with lots of advertisers and agencies, and I found that there are a lot of kind of axiom type of beliefs, like this must be done this way, but when we asking why, answer is usually, oh, this Facebook writes this way, or somebody told me. So I found that there's a little bit lack of their in-depth knowledge. Me being originally a computer science professor, quite excited about explaining things in depth, because the moment you understand it, you start making a way better decision as compared to you're just following what is written somewhere in the blueprint or whatever. So how many of you have been here in the previous one? Yes, I remember you. Anybody else? No, yeah, okay. There is a little overlap. I have put there a little bit of basic of machine learning in the beginning, just to tell you how this AI machine learning works. How many of you know how AI works? That's great. Okay, and I can explain. That's nice. Yeah, and then after that, I will tell you how that thing's gonna be applied, particularly in Facebook decision making. So, first thing first, how computers read the textual data. They count words. Well, they can actually do it in many ways. Nowadays, there's a transformer neural networks. Maybe you have heard about them. Not the movie, but the neural networks. They're used in Google first, and then they have been deployed in many places. But to the end, though, like a very easy way of it, of representing text, is counting words. Say here, words journal has been occurred 3 times, and intelligence 2 times, and the rest just 0 times, maybe volume and internet 1 time. So you kind of can guess from this, from this part of the slide, you kind of can guess what this thing is about, even without reading the whole thing. So this is a compressed way of representing the text, and machine also can read it, because machine always gonna deal with this vector, not with this text. So it's a compressed form, and it's also machine readable form. We can do in a little bit more advanced way by counting different, like differentiating different types of words. This is called LIWC. This one you can distinguish different personalities. And you can do the same thing with the images as well. So if you look at my face now, right, you will see that there's a cap that's quite clearly differentiates from my face. My eyes have different shape as the rest of my face. So it's a lot of changes of the color. And if you look at the direction of this change, you kind of can draw these vectors that represent the directions of change of colors, of the contrast of the image. And from there, you can distinguish one image from another. Even if you rotate the image, or scale in or scale, zoom in or zoom out, you will still can distinguish one image from another image. And this is how we represent the images. Then we can group that into kind of small objects like eyes or roof, and that would be called bag of visual words. Like this one was called bag of words, because it's literally bag of words, and this thing gonna be called bag of visual words. And this is a way how you can represent the images. Of course, again, in modern computer science community, we have convolutions and all other kind of things that people are talking about, but to the end, the idea is still the same. In the text, you're gonna group words. In the images, you are going to group some kind of tiny objects inside there, and then later you'll be able to compare one image from another. Say one has eyes, 2 pairs of eyes, and then some other image doesn't, so one probably have humans, or at least some, I don't know, animal, mammal, and another one doesn't. And then you will use the rest of the things to figure out, say, animal from human, all these kind of things, right? So this is how computer works. Can be many things, can be even objects like this. So for example, the fact that there's a statue and many trees and stairs and people, you could guess that that would be a park. If you have your computer science or machine learning model can distinguish, say, not statue but Merlion from non-Merlion, then it's actually only 2 places where you can find Merlions here. And like a park, it would be either Sentosa, another one will be in Merlion Park, but Merlion Park doesn't have too much trees but have the water, and this one doesn't have water but has the trees. Then you can distinguish and really figure out where the place is. And you don't need to look at the picture. It's enough for you to just know the object, same as here. It's enough for you to just know the different parts of the body, same as here. It's enough for you just to know the words. So, and this is a fundamental difference how computers and humans see the world. It's very important. For humans, this would be a lecture about marketing or casual business catch-up. For computers, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 number of chairs, then number of watches, like you have one, to also count, that also will be somebody on behind, okay, number of humans here, and the projector and the laptop. This is how a computer will see it. In fact, computers are quite bad in abstract thinking and quite good in memorizing and figuring out some tiny details that human would never even think about. That's why computers need a lot of processing power to process all that stuff, and humans don't need a lot of processor power. Our brains are pretty small compared to computers. But at the same time, our brains have ability to abstract and compress things in such a way that we still can live in the world and be much more creative and smarter than computers. In fact, our ability to make mistakes is what makes us creative. If we will never make mistakes, we will be like computers. So that's actually our advantage. Next time you make some mistake, you post you say that's my advantage. Yeah, I'm better than your laptop on your desk. Anyway, that's a lot of different types of objects you could detect, and for computer is really a challenge to detect, let's say, binocular from banana from the rabbit. Like for you, it's not a challenge. For you, banana is banana, rabbit is a rabbit. But for computer, it is. Banana and the rabbit could be pretty much the same thing, and they could really confuse them unless you have enough training data that will let computer to distinguish bananas from rabbits and from all the rest of the objects here. And you think about a newborn baby. When the baby just born, let's say they can communicate with us. Do they really know what's this banana, what's rabbit? Not really, right? So it's for us, for adults, we feel like this is something very obvious. But in reality, it's not, and this is another thing that we need to understand, what's the difference between computers and ourselves. So now, going back to Facebook, guess what is this? This is the different types of objects that Facebook detects from the content that we upload there. And this particular screenshot is taken from Facebook during one of their breakdowns. You know, right? Like Facebook breakdown. Actually, Facebook break down all the time. On the B2C side, they break down less often. Those who are running ads on Facebook, you know that breakdowns like almost every single week, and everything stopped working, and you have to urgently figure out what to do, and then they start working again and stop working and all this. So they are pretty buggy platform. So in order to protect themselves, when they break down, they replace the images with these captions, right? This may contain flower, this image might contain trees, sky, outdoor, nature, people standing, sky, cloud, outdoor. Ask yourself whether Facebook have detected the objects on the image just because they wanted to show these captions to you. Of course not. They have detected these objects from any image, any content you upload, anyway. Wherever you write there, wherever you upload the video, the image. In fact, even the websites where you will go and where the Facebook pixel is installed. All those things will contribute to your profile. And this profile will be later used to target ads and decide who's gonna show, who's gonna see the ad, who's not gonna see the ad, these kind of things. So this is just the top of the iceberg of what Facebook is actually detecting, and they generously reveal it when the CDN does the work, so they show these captions to you. This was one of the funny jokes this guy posted on Twitter. He posted on Twitter his Facebook profile picture, who had himself and the famous painting behind, and then he kind of making fun that Facebook didn't count all the people correctly. He's missed out himself, which was one of which was a pretty funny joke. So when I show it in UK, the whole was laughing very much, seeing the Protestant community, so everybody go to church, so they like this joke. But anyway, many things were happening at that time regarding this breakdown of Twitter. So how does Facebook and any other machine learning system actually figures out whether this is a banana or the rabbit or whatever? How does it work? Okay, in a very simple case, a very simple classifier, for example, KNN. Have you heard about K nearest neighbors, KNN? No? Yeah, you're gonna learn AI, guys. Today you're gonna learn AI. After this, you will become level up. Anyway, this actually, most of AI is just like this. It just, you get something very complicated and huge and neural networks, but to the end, machine learning is about ability of machine to distinguish one thing from another based on the features it is provided in the training set, and then in the reality when it's already working to solve some job. And those features are exactly those word counts and the color counts and all these kind of things, right? So now look at this. You get your green points and you also get your red points. Green points is something, say, positive, true, I don't know, rabbit, and then green, or like a red one is not rabbit, for example. It doesn't matter. Or it could be, I'll give you a few examples later as well, but let's say, yeah, we're detecting rabbits from the image. So green is rabbit, red is not rabbit. Then we also have X and Y axis. On the X axis, probably we're gonna have the length of the ears, and the Y axis, we probably will have the size of the animal. So yeah, so we have big rabbits with the short ears, probably like this, but this is very uncommon. Most of the times, rabbits will be, and size have to go this way, right? This is size, this is length of the ears. So rabbits will be always in the top right, where the size is smaller here, and then the length of the ears is big, and then the rest of the animals will be somewhere there. So when you get a new data point, actually it measures how far the data points that we already have are to this new data point, and then assign the labels. That's why it's called K nearest neighbors, because we are looking for K, for, in this case, how many, like 5 nearest guys, and look at their labels. If they're rabbits, means this guy is also rabbit. Can we make a mistake? Of course we could. But the more we learn, the less likely we're gonna make a mistake. And actually this is AI. I tell you more. Usually machine learning models, they train first, and then they evaluate, and then they predict, infer. Those called, people say it's machine learning. They say AI is something that can learn on the fly. Yeah, okay, here you go. This thing can learn on the fly. This is a true real AI, because the moment it will classify that this guy is a rabbit, this guy will participate in the next prediction, in building the next neighborhood, and actually it will learn on the go. Yes? So then now going back to digital advertising, right? We have a lot of things in this puzzle. When we're setting up our campaign, raise your hand for setting up campaigns on Facebook or Google. Yeah, really raise. You don't know whether you set up or not.
I used to do this.
Yeah, you raise, and then you touch your beer and you put it down, and then you raise again. Anyway.
I used to.
And if you don't have beard, what you gonna do in this situation? Probably touch your ear. Anyway, so it's indeed very difficult, and it's partially because it's like really a black box. Yes, the campaigns are pretty much a black box, and one of the reasons why we're having these sessions is we're trying to make it obvious how it works. My advantage is that I never worked on Facebook, but I work so much with Facebook on a technical level, so I kind of understand how it works. There was a conference here at WSDM, I think 6 months ago. So the head of Facebook organic reach came here, like the one that is in charge of what kind of content you're gonna see in the Facebook timeline. He came here and he came to my keynote and he was listening, asking a lot of questions. I get very curious, like who is this guy? How come he knows so many things? And then he is like, okay, actually I'm leading the organic Facebook output. So he comes from the Silicon Valley. And then I asked him, okay, but was I right? Everything I say, was it right? He said, well, yes, it was right, but it's a public knowledge, right? So everybody knows about it. Okay, if everybody knows about it, how come so many times we ending up just doing things blindly and not following the blueprints instead of really understanding it. So I guess yes, it's public knowledge, but somehow nobody knows this knowledge because Facebooks and Googles are not really keen to explain this, and the reason why they don't want to explain because they actually want to control everything, and this is the reason why it's still a black box. So there are many things, there are many factors that affect the costs of ads. Yeah, are you aware of these factors? Target audience, marketing objective, budget, competition when you choose to advertise. Okay, tell me which one is the most important that affects the costs of the ads. Which one is the most important, in your opinion?
I would say objective.
Objective. Oh, that's very good. Yes, that's what we're gonna talk to. That's why you come for this lecture. Good. Okay. Yeah. All right. What else?
It's target audience.
Yes. Correct. What else?
Relevance.
Relevant. How smart all of you. You didn't make. Yes. In fact, objective, target audience, and relevance is something that probably affects the cost most. Of course, competition as well, right? Because depending on the market we will be advertising, there will be more or less people fighting for the same people that we want to show the ads, and then automatically we are getting things much more expensive or much less expensive. That's why if we go to Philippines or to Pakistan or maybe Indonesia, right? We're gonna get CPM much lower because audience is bigger, competition is lower, it's enough to trade. But if you go to UK and US, same type of audience will be costing you maybe 10 times more easily. So your unit economic might work in Indonesia, but completely not work in US because same result will be coming at much higher price. Yes, and the rest three are right. So I'm gonna go through a little case study just for the sake of figuring out one of the personas that worked very well for Citibank, and then based on that persona I will explain you the mechanics of how Facebook works. Okay, something like this. Yes. So for Citibank, they were running ads. They run ads across lots and lots of audiences. They are generally A/B testing audiences a lot. And the top audience, I think in total they had like 124 different audiences that tested. And then the top audience that helped them to sell credit cards, or rather generate leads for credit cards because they have to still contact the sales people, were this one. They excluded some CRM targeting, they get all these interests included. Don't ask me how they get all this interest. If you want to know, you listen for the first talk on Marketing Mondays, which is you can access in the header of this lecture, and I'll send it to you as well. But generally, yeah, this one was the best audience number 30. And they actually came from that audience, they came up with this persona. So this is not persona that was originally created and then passed to the agency, but opposite. They first run the ads, they figure out best performing ads for credit card lead generation, then they come up with this guy, this persona, They call it Michael, 40 years old, tech enthusiast. Look for some latest tablets, gaming consoles, smart home devices, etc., video games, whatever. You can also ask yourself, if you are a game enthusiast and you're 40 years old and you like tech, how likely you're going to get a credit card? Actually, quite likely. This comes to another concept that we are not focused today. We were focused on it last time. The concept sounds very easy. If you're going to sell credit cards, you don't necessarily need to target credit cards. You can target many other things that are psychographics of these people, and then you end up selling 38% cheaper to that psychographics of the users. And in this particular case, this persona is kind of tech enthusiast. Live in UK, 18 to 65 years old. Yeah, something like this. So now let's discuss how does Facebook and Google actually figures out whether this particular guy, let's say, call him Michael, yeah, Michael, with this interest targeting, with this demographic targeting, and with this content, is gonna click the ad or not click the ad. Remember that we have ad objective. Ad objective have different objectives in Facebook. We have traffic, we have awareness, and we also have conversion targeting, right? Or conversion objective. So this one we are talking. If it's clicks, we are talking about which objective? Clicks. Yes. Traffic objective. Yes, we're gonna. Yeah, so we can have also conversion objective. That will be different things. So the process of Meta to decide whether this particular guy with this particular targeting, which means this targeting match to him, and he's 43 years old and he lives in the UK, if he and gonna respond on this content, this information getting fit to a special neural network on the Meta side that is trying to decide whether this guy is gonna click or not click. Yes, so I think it's quite important. It's a particular person, particular interest, interest of this guy that was inferred from his content activities. And with respect to particular creative, which includes placement, the date, the actual creative, the text inside, all this information gets split into features and fed into this kind of machine learning model that is trained to predict whether this guy is gonna click or not click. And then the model outputs some results. It says, okay, with 69% chance this guy is gonna click, and with 31% chance this guy not going to click. At the same time, and make decision that, okay, this guy gonna click. Once this kind of decision gets made, that particular point of time, he become part of auction. And if nobody else gonna pay that much money as you gonna pay to show him ad, then you will win that auction and you will show the ad. So this is the two steps, right? The first step is we are running him and the content through some machine learning model to predict whether he's at all likely to click or not. And then once we make a decision that this guy is likely to click, then after that he will become part of auction, and all of us will be fighting, all the advertisers who are bidding for this interest will be fighting against each other to show him the ad. That's why just now we were discussing targeting. Yes, it's important. Ad objective, definitely important, because this is what machine learning predicts. The third one was relevance, which is the content things, and the relevance, the targeting, and the ad objective, which is the three most important things, define whether this guy actually will participate in auction or not. At the same time, you can see there's a different content here, right? There's some video. The same model with a different content may come up with a very different prediction of this guy to click this content. For example, this video, right? Just from the fact that this video is a relevance, the chance of this guy clicking this content is lower. So you can see here, the outcome is different. it's only 33% chance that it will be clicked and 67% chance that actually will not be clicked. So the model will make a decision that this guy wouldn't click this content. Actually, this person wouldn't even participate in the auction. And also at the same time, if we change our objective to, let's say, conversion, this whole probability might change, because this video could be really good in converting people. Maybe they even wouldn't click anything here. Maybe they wouldn't click learn more, but they'll watch the video. They'll figure out, wow, Citibank is so great, and later they will go to the website and become credit card lead. And Facebook will be able to track it through conversion API or through the cookies inside there, right? So same content, not gonna click, but this guy has a very high chance to be converted. So what does it mean to us? To us, it means a lot of things. First of all, the auction that we will participate will be different based on creative, based on objective, and based on targeting, and actually all those factors at the moment. Yeah. So this is very important. The auction we will participate will be very different. And what it also means is that wherever you learn from your ad, from conversions, wouldn't automatically mean the same thing for the clicks and vice versa. Actually, there's no any relation between these things, because every time you change creative, or every time you change your targeting, or every time you change your objective, or it's just happening at a different time of the week or the day, all those features, remember, all those features that will be fed to machine learning model here, like this object, like this text, they all will change. And therefore, Facebook system will decide to put this guy in auction or not, and based on that, everything else will also change. And from this, it follows one thing. Wherever people telling you about the funnels and let's run traffic campaigns first to figure out the performance, and later we will do conversions and all this, the rest of the stuff. Is anybody here from the agency? Raise your hand. You're from the agency, yeah, but you're smiling, so you know that this is just so, okay, there is some part of it is true, yes. If you run traffic campaigns, somebody visits your website and you later retarget them, you could probably have a higher chance to convert these people, yes. But apart from this, the Googles and Facebooks of our world, they are driven 100% by machine learning decision making. And that means every single moment, everything is going to get reset and changed. And the only way for you to run ads properly is being really deep in the data that you already understand this from within very well, and then making more like a data science and kind of decisions rather than really marketing decisions. Yes, you had a question.
For the conversion objective, right? Is
Yes.
Facebook's data trained on who is most likely to click on an ad regardless of the category, or is it trained on who is most likely to click on an ad in a specific category?
So, thanks for the question. You actually didn't mention where do you work. What's your
I
background?
do copywriting.
You're doing copywriting. Okay. It's more than that actually. But okay, first of all, yes, you're definitely right. It's not even about clicks. For conversion, Facebook will be looking at the historical conversions. And the thing that you mentioned about category is also a very smart thing. Why? Because remember, on Facebook you have standard events and custom events. Who knows what's the difference between standard and custom events? Standard events are those events that Facebook train really well because it has a lot of same type of standard events. So they're actually training them across categories. The moment you're putting a custom event in your pixel or whatever, you're telling Facebook, hey, this thing is super different from whatever you learned before. my product, which is, I don't know, special chicken rice delivery in Yishun, which is super special product. No, then you set it as a custom event. From that moment onwards, you're telling Facebook, nothing like this was happening with you before. Learn this event from very beginning, and it will take you much longer time to actually train Facebook's AI to really distinguish who is gonna buy and who is not gonna buy. And that's why it's actually very much recommended. If something that you're optimizing for is similar to whatever Facebook offers you as a standard, you can always map it, because Facebook will start learning optimizing for you based on somebody else's data. Other than that, you have to be a really big brand to train enough for your custom events to make them work. Did I answer your question?
So, when part two of the question, right, when you
Yes.
set a conversion objective, right?
Yes.
And Facebook is feeding people to the ads who are more likely to convert on conversion. Is it, number one, they are feeding the people who are most likely to click purchase, or number two, they are feeding the people who are most likely to click purchase on your specific category? I think that's the part I'm a bit confused about, because there are different trains of thoughts here.
Yeah, so most likely it will be in your category, and when you say click purchase, that's not really accurate, because you are yourself defining what is your conversion, and your conversion needs to be defined based on some landing that appears after the conversion has actually happened. Because click purchase is not conversion. Click purchase is exactly click purchase. And this is a good example, by the way. I have seen it many times in industry as well. People setting up their website, and then they say, okay, I'll put click purchase as my conversion event, and I specify it as conversion. Means what? Means my business now gonna sell a lot of my product because I did everything right. But they're actually doing really wrong, because you're telling Facebook, hey, this click actually means conversion, when it's not. So Facebook training that this is a conversion happening every time, but in fact it's just clicks. Then machine learning model try even first. Okay, every time the click is happening, there's a conversion happening. Oh, that's really great. Means product is so nice. So probably I can start mixing up some data from the clicks data inside there as well, because they are so much associated between each other. And you start confusing it further and further and further, and you end up not receiving your results, because you're teaching Facebook how to optimize for people clicking conversion button rather than converting. This is something like bananas and rabbits. They are definitely different, and you need to teach machine learning model to distinguish rabbits from bananas and vice versa. Same here. Same category or not, this is only Facebook knows, really in deep. But based on how their categorization is set up when you set up the ad account, and also based on how it has a different performance when you get a fresh ad account versus you get some old ad account, and based on the categorization of the actual events that you're optimizing for, it seems like Facebook have different levels of optimization. One is on general, one is on the industry, one is on your ad account, one is within your campaign within that ad account, and on each ad set, and even on each creative separately. So it's like a hierarchical model, and that's why keeping your ad account the same and not spoiling your karma is actually quite important, because the moment you lose your ad account, you might not get the same results in the next one. Yeah. So I think kind of the main thing I wanted to really convey today is that forget about looking for any logic between different objectives, different types of campaigns. Every time you do a change, you're pretty much randomizing and messing up everything inside again, and you have to treat it as a new thing. For example, one last example would be this. People put the same targeting and put two different creatives, and they think that these two different creatives will be seen by the same people because targeting is the same. No way. No. You get two different creatives, you get same targeting, but creative plus targeting gives us what? gives us different outputs here. Here it will be saying yes, we'll click, and here it will be saying no. So means for every single individual in that big pool of targeting, the prediction whether this guy is a legitimate or not legitimate person to see the ad will be different, and you get completely different audiences. Try it by yourself at home. Run two ads at the same time, same target, different creative, and then try to look the overlap between. The overlap will be very little, and exactly for this reason. And this is not really told by Facebook because not everybody is smart as you. If I'm gonna try to explain all this on the Facebook blueprints, I think the brain will just explode and nobody gonna really understand it. So Facebook is making their software for general audience. Any SME person could just click boost post and then the sales will come out. That's their dream. That's why they really simplify what's happening. In the reality, we are trying to bring you back from there to make your ads really efficient. This is the reason why we started this. So yeah, so now going back, these are the 4 key factors that you really need to think about. The targeting, the objective. So targeting is your audience definition. Objective is your label that the machine learning is trying to predict. Then you get your placement, where you show the ad, and relevance, which is the content. And that is your creative part, right? So you get targeting and relevance and placement as an input, and then the prediction would be the marketing objective, whether it's gonna click or not click. Other things are also important because once your person is released to the auction, competition will define how expensive you will buy this guy, because that will depend on how many other advertisers also match this guy through machine learning. And if many of them match this guy, then this guy will be expensive because of competition. So that would define the price. The budget is another important thing because the more you want to spend, and make sure Facebook will spend it for you because that's their business, the more you want to spend, the more compromising Facebook will be on including person into the option or not. Is it clear what I'm trying to say now? Yeah, so just for the sake of everyone, maybe if you're spending very little, 0.73 is not enough for Facebook to include this guy. You'll be including only those 0.95. Like somebody like I'm really 100% sure that this guy gonna click or purchase. But maybe if you want to spend more in the point of time, Facebook will say, okay, maybe since you want to spend so much, maybe 0.73 is also okay for you. Okay, yeah, I also include this guy inside here. And that's where you're getting a less quality audience, is increasing of your budget. Every time you increase the budget, you're gonna get more impressions, but less quality, because those impressions are the result of the compromise of this machine learning model feeding you the people that are less likely to convert or less likely to click. And yeah, that's why when you start on Facebook, results are always great. The moment you scale, you start compromising and you get worse results, because the audience pool is always finite. How to avoid it? Well, play with different audiences. Try to tap on those options that nobody else is fighting for, right? This is a way to avoid it. And the relevance. So here, what I'm going to show you is the tool that we have developed that is predicting somebody else's content. So basically, it does exactly the same thing what Facebook does, but it does it for your competitors, or even for yourself before you run the ad. So here is a car leasing industry in the UK. You can see all these brands, they each run some ads all the time. And you see there is a clickability high, confidence 57. So what does it mean? What does clickability high mean? Clickability high means that content is likely to be clicked by a particular user. Okay, we'll just read this a moment again. So remember, I just now was telling you that sometimes we have a content, we predict whether this content is going to be clicked or not clicked. So if machine learning predicts that this guy is higher likely to be clicked with 93% chance, that would mean that our machine learning model that acts exactly the same thing, also trained based on advertising data, predicts that this content is going to be 57% chance to be clicked, and this one is 30% chance to be clicked. And from that information, you can actually pick up the best content that run by your competition, and then you probably can adopt the techniques and etc. What Facebook doesn't do is Facebook doesn't really predict why. It just uses machine learning model to constantly run the ads, make a decision whether this ad is good or bad, and that's what it's doing. However, you can actually visualize how neural network makes a decision. So you can see the particular words, and also the heat map of the image is actually visualization of how a neural network made a decision that that particular content piece is going to be good or bad. And unfortunately, this kind of things wouldn't be really released to public by the big brands like Google and Facebook, because this is their bread and butter. In fact, the more automated algorithms, the less settings they provide you with, the more they will earn. Because they will be making as many decisions as they want by themselves, and then after that, automatically, you will be spending more money, most likely. But if you are diving into data by yourself, you can figure out a lot of things, not just like why content works, but you can figure out which products particular brands are focused. You can see what is the overlap in terms of their product strategy and their content strategy. Like these guys are focused on female football fans. We can just dive deep and figure out what kind of content that worked for them was particularly focused on female soccer teams. Then maybe later you can use that content again to run your ads more efficiently. And personas, and actually we will have experimented with many things. We figure out that customer needs, personas, products, and the tone of voice and all these kind of things. You could extract from their best performing competitor content, and then later you can use it for, I don't know, for yourself, for your agency, for your clients, whatever. And the good thing about it is that this all happens in about 2 minutes. So like if last time you were dealing with a bunch of data in your ads manager and you had to spend hours or days on it, nowadays with AI you can just do it in 2 minutes. So we really hope that more and more advertisers will be first understand the in-depth underlying technology which I just explained, and second we'll adopt a lot of tools like this, because my belief, as I always say, AI not going to replace the humans, but humans with AI going to replace the humans that don't use AI. So be those humans that actually adopting all this technology. Come for Marketing Mondays. We are doing it bi-monthly. Read your key takeaways from this lecture, and yeah, if you have any questions, you can just ask those now. Because I'm pretty much done. Yes.
Does the solution only work on Meta or
Meta and Google. Google is not really
Google
there.
AdWords?
Yeah. Google will be there as well. But I mean, there are many tools, right? You get Google Analytics and stuff. This one is just more on communication side. The way we made it is to, we say, keep your finger on your competitor pulse. So, yeah.
Just one more question, the dashboard.
Yes.
So when we're doing the competition analysis, so
Yeah.
that shows that the CTR is high. So does that also show that how much budget the competition has invested? Because obviously the higher CTR will be if the reach and impression is higher. So the CTR will be higher for sure. So if our budget is very limited.
So CTR is calculated based on the unique click-through rate, right? So if your impression is higher, your CTR actually will be going lower, because Facebook will start compromising on who to show the ad and who not to show the ad. But going back to your original question is related to, can you see the budgets? Well, what we tell now is you can measure the budget based on their share of voice. We have this dashboard saying, okay, these guys are spending, these guys are having that number of creatives and ads running at the same time, and these guys are less. So you kind of can compare the activities and budgets, yes, but of course the exact budget that is spent we cannot really predict. So we are really focused on the quality. Given your budget, your share of voice, your market share, what kind of contents you should really pick up and choose in order to make your ads more efficient, and then you grow your budgets if your ads work, right? To the end. So this is what we are focusing. I think talking about our current discussion, important thing that we feel like we can already make is a conversion rate prediction. So right now it's clickability. It's the top of the funnel. But we start already working on how can we predict the conversion rate, because it's something independent from a particular product. So if we can see that this kind of setting of the ad can predict the conversion rate, can we predict the same thing for the ads that we don't know? And if we could, then this is a strong pathway towards telling you what kind of creative gonna do sales for you or not, even before you run it, right? Imagine you get creative agency, they come to you with, like a copywriter, come to you with 20 copies and you like run it through the tool and say, hey, only copy number 3 is good, can you write 19 more for me? It will be probably more work for you, which is good, but also at the same time, this is where the word is moving towards, right? If you can create this kind of competitive digest just in 2 minutes, and it will be better than the agency, 1,000 times faster than the agency, and cost 5 times less than the agency. That means what? That means the agency actually needs to adopt these tools to improve their efficiency. Also, the brands should improve this, put these tools into their day. Like I say, this is kind of a morning coffee read tool. You wake up in the morning for your business. Okay, what's going on with my competition? Oh, these guys are running 11-11 3 days earlier than it is. Okay, shall I respond? Shall I do anything about that? Oh, this kind of thing works for them. Or they put a cute cat in the middle of the screen and that actually increase their CTRs. Should we do more cats? Or something like this. Because of course I'm making it up. But this all start making sense, right? After the beginning of the lecture, the way Facebook decides, you can actually start building this kind of tools as well, pretty easily. Because they just replicate what Facebook is doing, but based on your data and in your favor, not for making Facebook do the options that help them to earn more, but making you choose creatives, communication, and targeting that actually helps your business. Yes?
So one question, my knowledge in terms of execution in Facebook is pretty outdated, but when you look at creating audiences, I saw in some of the examples also there's a lot of, when it comes to interest, you keep adding a bunch of interests, but I think 5, maybe several years ago, it used to be like you narrow things down more and then you have a lot of ad variations or ad set variations, but what now Google or Facebook is advocating is to be broadening things up, right?
Yep.
And that I think coincides with what you said, like, you know, they want to get more.
Yeah, of course.
This thing, but what is your thoughts on that? What is the best practice when it comes to
What is the best practice nowadays?
Yeah, nowadays.
I don't know, use TikTok, they're still not doing that. No, but okay, definitely you start getting those targeting advantage, everything. I always wondering to whose advantage is that? To Facebook advantage, right? And they say this advantage targeting is whose advantage? Your advantage as advertiser or is a Facebook advantage? I still think it's more like a Facebook advantage. Sometimes those things work very well. The reason why they work very well, for example, for the app promotion, it actually works very well. And the reason why it works well because the apps, where the Facebook SDK installed, provides them lots of data about the customer behavior, way beyond what they can learn through the pixels, conversion APIs, etc. And that data is pretty much uniform. That's why you exclude targeting at all. You run your machine learning model on a whole pool of the users, predict the probabilities, pick up top whatever number according to your budget from the top and show them the ad. No. And put that in the auction and see whether you can win these guys. If somebody else is fighting for them, maybe you wouldn't. If you're willing to pay a lot, then yes, you're gonna win these guys with the CPM, and then maybe they'll become your customers. For some other things like those lookalikes, right? Typical AI application like propagation, growth of the audience based on their features. Advantage targeting might not work, and then you can get a much better results by targeting something else like long tail, because you'll be tapping on the audiences that you haven't even tried before and nobody else tried before, and then you are the first one to try it, and then you're ending up buying it efficiently. Narrowing down audience almost always making it working worse, apart from B2B, because in B2B we are really cherry picking people. So maybe if you get to some really good audience, let's say accountants, maybe that's what you should do. In all other cases, for B2C, when you narrow down the audience, you limit the pool which Facebook can get the users from. If you limit this pool, means maybe there are some users that are gonna click your ad with 0.99 probability, but within the pool that you limit, there's only 0.72 type of people. If you narrow it that way, you will be able to only tap on those, not the best audience you could achieve. So those interests that I was showing you, they're not narrowing down the audience. They're giving you another broad audience, but sliced differently. So it kind of cracks the way Facebook usually works. If Facebook will usually give you audience in such a way that they will distribute audience among all the advertisers, kind of give a piece to everyone. In that way, you are a little bit cracking the system, picking out the slice that maybe untouched or not supposed to be yours, and then you might get some good audiences from there. And I think just targeting it differently wouldn't help. What helps is doing a lot of targeting and then quickly A/B testing and seeing which works at this particular moment of time, quickly switching from one to another. So all this learning phase, don't change, that's all you can just give up on that and not listening to this. Machine learning models on the Facebook side can predict things from the first second you run the ad. That's why sometimes when you bid is low, it actually doesn't deliver. When you bid is high, it starts delivering. So when you bid is high and it starts delivering, why is this happening? Well, because the machine learning model will start predicting that these guys are actually likely to perform your target action. And if they are likely to perform your target action, then they start showing these people to you. So even if you don't get any conversion at all, if you just see which ad sets deliver, which don't, it kind of already tells you how likely Facebook thinks that that particular ad set have chance to deliver for you or not for somebody else. And this kind of the learning phase and minimum 70 conversions per campaign, that thing is purely sales tactics. You set it up, let it run, and spend as much money as you wish, and as we want you to spend, because we are going to earn from there, right? We are charging you not for results, we are charging you for impressions, or for clicks, and yeah. So this is related to the business model of Facebook. We have to understand that these guys have to take care of advertisers and users, and most importantly themselves. Otherwise, their stocks will drop and they'll be in trouble. Yeah. So if you want to test this tool, you can just scan this and try it out. It will bring you to the page where you need to put on your name, your email, and some password so that the system will remember you. And then later at home you can fill up the competitors or accounts you want to monitor and just using it. This QR code link will be active for an hour maybe after this lecture. Yes, so if you're really interested, you just do it later. And yeah, this is my WhatsApp. If you guys want to ask anything, just feel free to ask. I kind of took over this mission to teach people marketing, so I do as much as I could. You can just WhatsApp me and ask me whatever you like. All right? Any other questions? All right. So don't walk away. We have some, unfortunately, instant coffee today. They promised me that next time it will be the machine one. Actually, it's supposed to be machine coffee today as well, but yeah, they're ordering. So, but what was really nice last time is that the marketers, like-minded marketers, they were spending here for an hour or even longer, catching up on their pain points and troubles, and this is really great. So you feel free. This room is booked for at least 1 more hour, and this is the end of the day, so till midnight. You can stay here and chat wherever you like. Okay, thank you. Yep.
So you're saying that the agency told me that you need 7 days of learning before, so you can't change the ad so frequently, you have to wait 2-3 days before the machine starts learning. But just now you said that actually from the first second it's up, they already, so you don't need to wait. But you also said that if your account is going haywire, and what I got is that, let's say you stop the ads, and then it will be learning again.
Yeah. So my answer is, don't make decisions by the rules. There's no such thing as, you have to learn for 7 days, and after that it learned. Yeah, there's no such thing. It depends on many factors. First factor is your budget. If you're spending lots of money, after 1 day you already kind of know what works, what doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Second, your KPIs. What you're looking for, what's your cost per result that you want to achieve. Third, your event that you optimize for. If your budget is $50 per day, but your average cost per result is 100, that means you have to wait a lot till you get enough of your results to really figure out whether you're running a right thing or not. Yeah. What I was trying to say is that when you set up certain objective, let's say for conversion, and then you run maybe 30 ad sets at the same time, definitely 3-5 will be delivering pretty fast. And some others wouldn't even start delivering if your bid is low. And from there, you already can tell that this 5 is what Facebook thinks have chance to deliver your conversions. And then the rest, don't even think about them, because with a lower bid, most likely those guys wouldn't deliver. So you can focus on the first 5 and see whether and then you can choose a secondary metric. Maybe in your case, your clicks are quite correlated with your purchases. If so, then you can still keep the conversion objective as your main objective, but at the same time, you could try to optimize for the ads that have a cheaper click. But that would not work, let's say, for your neighbor who is running different product, and for them, clicks and conversions have nothing to do, because their product is much more, maybe very exciting, but have much more complicated and longer funnel and sales cycle. So, therefore, whatever I will tell you, if you will take it as a rule, almost certain it wouldn't work. My opinion is, if you want to run digital ads well, you need to understand how they work, see your situation, and make a decision based on what you see from the data.
So you were saying that there is an advantage for sometimes there's an advantage to run the traffic because of the click, and also with conversion.
What I'm saying is sometimes you can set up conversion objective, but before you get enough conversion, look at clicks or some other metrics that could tell you whether you are moving in the right direction or not. But it depends on the product, because there are products where clicks and conversions are related, and there are products where clicks and conversions are not related. And if you kind of understand all these things, I guarantee you whatever conversation you're going to have with your agency, you're going to make them work 3 or 4 times harder. Because there's nothing like wait for a week or wait for 1 day. It's always wait for the week, because, can you explain? I have my product, I have my X creatives, I have my targeting, this number of ad sets. from which metrics you say it's for a week but not for 8 days or not for 5 days? What is the historical performance that tells you have to wait for the week? What's the KPI I should expect for based on the data that you see? Yeah? The moment you start asking these kind of questions, they will either try to churn you as a client, or they'll start really working for you. And that's what you want to achieve as a marketer, because don't forget, and this is great, it's a great model, agency model, but don't forget that agencies, they're trying to maximize their margins, which is coming from doing less work but achieving results for you. Yes? So when they're doing less work because they use tools to automate and become efficient, that's great, that's what I'm looking for. But when they are doing less work because they're telling you something that you believe and don't bother them, oh, that's a problem. Don't let this happen. And then everything will be balanced. Actually, in fact, they need some push from the client side to, learn new things and improve. Which is very encouraged. Okay. You agree with me, right? You're from agency, but you agree with me? Yes. So this is just how it works. This is life, an industry guy.
Yeah. I think also agencies have a small beat in the big tech, because we are also supposed to listen to what Facebook and Google is saying, and it's like, so you call it wall guard, right? So you don't know what happens inside. So for the agency also it's a challenge. So
Oh, definitely. And Google, Facebook will be calling you and say, hey, you don't apply all the recommendations.
that's
And all the recommendations are what? How to increase your budget. Yeah, so you increase your budget because Facebook said. Then agency will come to you and say, Facebook, so increase the budget. Of course you have to. You're gonna trust Facebook or what? Yeah. Then you're gonna increase your budgets. And then to the end, I had several conversations with Facebook. There's one magic question with Facebook that gonna stop the conversation. What you are suggesting me is this gonna guarantee me improve my performance? After you ask this question, usually the conversation lasts for 3 more minutes, and then they say goodbye, sir. It's okay. but this is what you want, right? As advertiser, especially as SME, especially when every cent is precious. Yeah. So, or bigger businesses as well. Why bigger businesses are so good clients for Facebook and Google? Because those guys are spending millions of dollars on reaching traffic campaigns just to cover everyone, and everybody's happy, agencies happy, businesses happy, and the performance campaigns is not where the agency earn. Reach campaigns is where they earn from, but the whole industry is now moving from reach, from traffic to performance, because the key advantage of digital advertising is the ability to track things and A/B test and improve, which is not happening because it's time-consuming and complicated, which contradicts the model of increasing the margins by doing less work. Here you go, you are in a visual cycle. And because of this, people are moving things in-house. So it's all very natural. And the reason why all these things happen is because we used to have this kind of marketing like 30 years ago, when we put something on a billboard, we cannot measure. We just do the work and then we pray that it will work. And then this same model gets dragged into modern of marketing. And now it's so much harder, but because everything is trackable, but the original songs are still sent to everyone because that's how the original model was working before. But we should change, right? We should improve, because every uncomfortable situation drives innovation and really great changes. And that's what we are looking for. We actually want things to be uncomfortable, because uncomfortable makes us be better. So every time you feel comfortable, ask yourself, why I'm feeling so comfortable? There must be something I can improve, especially digital advertising. Okay. Thanks, that's a really great question. Thanks for that. Okay?
Thank you. That was really good.
Have a good day, guys. Thank you. Hopefully you have a week. But thanks for coming in such a rain. I mean, I thought there would be no one. You're all so brave, and thanks for that. I really appreciate it.
Hi everyone. So we have light refreshments at the pantry. So feel free to help yourself, and also take this opportunity to network. Okay, get to know each other, and so feel free to ask any questions that you have related to marketing. Hopefully this session was helpful. Okay, thank you.
I've got this little camera covers. If you like, you can get this to cover your camera or laptop. And the QR code, this one is on the back. If you like, you can take it here. My name card is small.
You don't have to send it. You don't have I'll message that number in WhatsApp. I will message you. Eventually something that I could do next week, so let me know. Okay, so
Yeah, just let me show that thing. Yes?